What's up, everybody? Before we get into today's match, I just want to say that I'm not only getting back into the game, but I'm also getting back into doing live commentary. So I might make some misplays here. I might misspeak when I'm doing my commentary, but I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. So if you have any suggestions of things that I can do to upgrade my commentary, my gameplay, or just the quality of the content, please let me know down below, but let's get into this. What is going on, YouTube? It is Primitive here, and today I'm bringing you a locals match I had recently between myself on the right playing Bloomlord, and on the left we're going to be having MetalgarurumonX. And I do understand that this camera angle is not the best one we've had, but we are in a very crowded card store, and this is the best that I could do. So at least we're still able to capture the game, but I do understand this is not the best camera angle, but I do my best when setting up my camera here. But I'm going to start with the Palmon in the back on top of the one of Argomon egg, and then play that Mimi to get the search and also some memory later. My opponent is going to build up to that Garurumon X and then play out Davis, so already setting up that memory tamer, but they are putting me at 3, which can potentially allow me to make some plays here. And if I'm going to put them at 3 anyway, I can potentially just get away with some hard plays or playing out tamers here. So I'm going to go ahead and Digivolve up into the Sunflowermon. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of this Sunflowermon just because there are some fairies in the deck. You're going to have the Bloomlord itself as well as the Lilymon Ace, but still not enough to where I really feel like the effect matters too much, but it is a decent inheritable. So I'm just going to go ahead and Digivolve up with Blossomon using the Digisorption effect to tap the Mimi to go to 2 memory, which now allows me to play out that agility training, keep turn, and I'm going to play out my own memory tamer here. I do put them at 4, but they were going to go to 3 anyway, and at least setting up my Mimi is helpful because if they don't get rid of this Blossomon, then I am going to have the ability to potentially promote out whatever I put in raising next turn. But it's also just a memory tamer, which is really strong to be able to put us at a consistent amount of memory, and we do see that they keep in raising, so our Blossomon is going to be safe. They are going to get that blue memory boost and a Gabumon X out, so I can delay to get some more memory with that blue memory boost later, but I'm not going to worry about that too much because at least my Blossomon lived, which means that I could get up into Omega, or I could use that Mimi effect. But we're going to go ahead and play out another Mimi to search here. I'm going to grab the Bloomlord so that way I have that main Mega that I'm looking for. So now thinking about what I want to go ahead and do here, I do decide to Digivolve up into the Bloomlord. Its effect will suspend itself, so I'm going to gain the 2 memory from the Mimi. I am supposed to gain 1 more memory from the Bloomlord, and we are going to get that fixed right here. So I will end up going to 2, which is perfect for me because that means I can play another agility training and keep the turn. I'm not going to be able to unsuspend the Bloomlordmon just because I only gained that 1 memory, but I was still kind of safe that my opponent, if they want to get rid of this, they're going to have to go up into the MetalgarurumonX, and they had a semi-weak turn last turn, so hopefully they're not going to be able to get there. But I am going to tap the Mimi to promote out the Palmon, and I decide to swing here. I want to just promote here so that way I can hatch again next turn, Digivolve, and get some more cycle going. And so instead of just leaving the Palmon there to potentially just get bottom decked or bounce to hand, I'm just going to go ahead and swing it in, get that check, put my opponent down to 4, which is nice because we are going to be able to potentially swing multiple checks with Bloomlord later. So just going to go ahead and get that out of the way and get that cycle and raising. But now my opponent's going to start going in. They are going to put the X antibody underneath, be able to swing in and Digivolve into the Wargarurumon X, which is going to be able to unsuspend, be able to potentially swing again. But now they're going to go into the MetalgarurumonX Ace, and as I'm getting back into the game, I still have to read some cards just to make sure that I fully understand their effects. So they're going to be able to pitch 3 to be able to gain the memory, and then they will be able to swing here and be able to delete my lowest level by pitching. And this is unfortunate, and leaving that Palmon there definitely wouldn't have saved me because they went into that Wargarurumon which would have bounced. So no matter what, I was losing my Bloomlord there, which is unfortunate because I was more thinking about MetalgarurumonX more so than the Ace, and so having it be deleted instead of being potentially bounced to my hand is definitely a lot worse. But they have that Gabumon X, they're going to go ahead and swing in, hit into that Togemon, so that is going to take it out, and now they're going to Digivolve into the MetalgarurumonX for 1 since they are just a MetalGarurumon already, and then going to be able to unsuspend. And thinking about swinging right now, going to have that blocker trait, but I don't think that's going to matter too much. Now going in for the Omnimon X antibody, thanks to the X antibody Digivolve, they're going to be able to look at my security, pitch, and then they are going to be able to check the other one. I know we can't see the security right now, but I do have 2 security, so they're going to look at it right there. They're going to pitch 1 and check the other. It doesn't really matter because the BP is going to be high enough to go through. So now we are in a pretty interesting spot because I don't have anything on the board right now. now, but I do have a bunch of ways to be able to build up. I have the 3 Mimis, which can gain me memory, and I have the agility trainings, which can digivolve me up, and so there is a potential way for me to be able to live this turn just thanks to Hydramon, which we are going to be able to grab off this Palmon right here. Hydramon being able to potentially end of turn bottom deck the Omnimon and then be able to gain memory thanks to the MetalgarurumonX Ace is going to be our win condition, so I have to try and build up to it right here. Starting off with going up into the Sunflowermon thanks to that agility training, which is going to be able to play out Togemon, and we're just trying to get bodies on the board right now and mostly get bodies suspended, so we can go ahead and Digizorp into the Argomon here, tap the Mimi to bring out the Lalamon, which allows us to then use the agility training to go into another Sunflowermon, which we could use to tap to go up into something like a Bloomlord on the Argomon, but I am going to go ahead and Digivolve up into the Agitarmon. I do get to reduce the Digivolution cost thanks to that Sunflowermon inheritable, but I'm not going to use its effect to play out. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and go for HPD to go into Hydramon. I'm not going to be able to gain any memory because I'm not actually suspending any of my opponent's Digimon, but I do have multiple Digimon suspended to meet the criteria for Hydramon to be able to bottom deck the OmnimonX, which means that I will be able to gain that memory from the overflow thanks to the MetalgarurumonX Ace, keeping my turn. So I'm just thinking about what I want to play to pass the turn right here. We're going to play the Palmumon. This does prevent players from playing things by effects, but I am going to be able to just overflow up to 3 memory, and I'm going to Digivolve over it anyway, so it's not really affecting me. I'm just trying to get the Hydramon effect to activate here, so going to be able to bottom deck Omnimon, get rid of the rest of the stack, overflow +4, as I said. Now we're at 3. Go into the Sunflowermon, when Digivolving, suspend it to play out Lala. Going to be able to search 3. Grab another ultimate, the Cherrymon. Not going to be the most useful because we're just threatening so much right now that my opponent can't really do too much. So I'm going to go ahead and tap to go for the Digizorption. And then I don't actually even have anything to play, so I end up just passing turn right there. So the Digizorption itself didn't really matter. But if I did get a draw off that Cherrymon to play, could have helped. My opponent doesn't have anything to go in. He said that he knows that his Ice Wall and Hammer Sparks are already gone through, so he's not going to be able to survive. So we're just going to go ahead and scoop it up and go into the next game. So we see MetalgarurumonX going first, Digivolve up into the EX1 Gabu into the promo Garurumon. I'm going to play my agility training, 2 Agitarmon, so I have to just take 1 into another agility training. I take the Quartzmon, or I can take the Hydramon. The Hydramon did me pretty good that last match, saving me, so I'm going to take it, but I also don't want to grab the Quartzmon if I don't have another level 6, so it's just safer to go ahead and grab that Hydramon right here, but go for that Davis. So now again, they're going to have that Memory Tamer right away, which is a bit annoying because I can't like memory choke them or anything, but I can just put them to 3 with my Mimi here. Think about what I want to grab. Gonna grab the Palmon, just a little bit better of a searcher than the Lalamon because you can hit 2 and you also search 4, so just a little bit more useful. My opponent's gonna go for 2 Searcher Gabumons, or potentially think about going for 2 Searcher Gabumons, but was thinking about if they wanted to put me at the 3 memory or not, because that's not the Memory Tamer Mimi, that's just the can gain memory Mimi, and so they're thinking about if they want to put me at a lower memory count, but decide to go for double Gabu. Search out here, but that is going to put me at 3, and with double agility training and the Mimi out here, it's going to help me potentially go up into my Megas or just a really wide board. I know I have the Agitarmon and the Palmon, so I could go up and just play both of those right now, but I'm thinking about playing another Mimi because I can use Togemon's effect to suspend itself to be able to reduce the cost by 3, and then I can search 3 with the Mimi, so we're going to go ahead and go for that right here. Going to be able to gain the memory from the Mimi already out, draw a card thanks to the inheritable, and then grab a Palmon off of that Mimi there. But now this is going to help me in future turns, being able to have that extra memory with the Mimi and being able to just essentially search out more cards. I do just hit the Palmon, but I can play the Palmon out here to be able to search more, hit this Lalamon and this Bloomlordmon, and even though I'm only at 1 memory right now, because of these agility trainings, I'm going to be able to still build up pretty deep and be able to gain more memory because of the Mimi that I just played, and because of my inheritables and that agility memory boost, I'm able to go up into my ultimate for free, use the effect to suspend the Palmon to play another Palmon, which is going to allow me to gain the memory with that Mimi, and now I'm going to go ahead and just build up off that Sunflowermon that I just played. So going to be able to pop this a second agility training, go up into the Sunflower, use its effect to be able to Digivolve it up into Bloomlord for 2 reduced costs, and because of one of the inheritables, it's going to be reduced by 3, so Digivolving for 1, gaining 3 memory, and then unsuspending. So now I'm going to be able to swing for 2 checks at 14, not able to get out a 4th suspended Digimon here, so only going to go for those 2 checks, but still relatively safe, just into a Gabu X and a Garurumon X. But now I'm sitting at 4 memory and trying to figure out how I want to operate the rest of the turn here, so I'm going to go ahead and Digivolve up into the Argomon. I can't can't Digizorb, so I'm just going to have to Digivolve for the full 3 here. And now I'm going to go ahead and Digivolve up into Hydramon. When Digivolving, I'm going to be able to suspend, gain 2 memory because I have 2 other Digimon, but that's not going to matter because they have Davis. But I am going to be able to bottom deck the Gabumon that I suspend, which is fine enough because I am worried about them going in for a bunch of potential damage, and so being able to get rid of one of the Gabumons is nice. So now I limit at least how many checks they can get down by 1 more. So they do decide to promote and go up into that BT7 Garurumon, which isn't going to help too much right now because its effect is an on play, but if they do have X antibody and have something like MetalgarurumonX or Metal X, then they can gain some memory with that inheritable, but not too sure what they're going for right now. They did promote it up and then just Digivolve, so potentially just hoping for the draw. I can see that they have the MetalgarurumonX Ace here, so they are going to be able to pitch 3 to be able to gain the 3 memory back, go back to 0, and then they could be able to swing and delete the Palmon, but that's not going to be too scary if they swing there because not really too worried about losing my Palmon, more so than I'm worried about losing my Hydramon and my Bloomlord. And they are going to have to lose memory when they swing here, so they're going to go ahead and go for their inheritables here. They have the EX1 Gabu. Now they're going to pitch 1 to be able to delete the lowest level, and the only thing that they can pop is the Palmon because we have level 6s to the level 3, obviously, so I'm just checking that right there. Palmon's going to go down. They're going to swing. They're going to lose a memory because of the Hydramon all turns effect, and that's going to put me at 1 memory, but I'm not too worried about that right now because if I can just get 2 suspended Digimon on the board, then my Hydramon's going to be able to bottom deck this MetalgarurumonX Ace anyway, and I would be able to gain the memory. So I'm thinking about if I want to try and get rid of it through swinging over it and gaining memory, or if I want to try and get the damage. So I'm just going to go ahead and swing security. I'm going to be able to get the Argomon effect to play out the Palmon, grab that Blossomon and that Bloomlordmon, and I'm going to be able to swing for 2 checks. First check's going to be a Cool Boy, which hits X antibody, but going to get rid of Hammer Spark, and another check here hits that X antibody, going to put me at 0 memory, but that doesn't matter too much. I'm going to go ahead and go up into Quartzmon. Because of my 3 inheritables, I'm Digivolving for just 3, and then I'm going to be able to suspend everything on the board. Because that Gabumon got suspended, I'm going to gain a memory from the Hydramon and then gain 3 from the Quartzmon. I'm going to play Mimi, which is going to pass turn. End of turn, the Hydramon's going to bottom deck the MetalgarurumonX Ace, which is going to gain me 2 memory, and then I tap that Mimi and go in for game with the Digimon in the raising. So that was a pretty quick end, but that does show some of the things that you can do if you can take advantage of your opponent's Ace cards and that flood memory. But that's going to be today's match, so if you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe. I'm going to be bringing you a bunch of Digimon content now that I am back, and I am uploading onto my TikTok every single day too, so same as Primitive Kage on TikTok. If you want to check it out, that'd be sick. If not, I'll check you next time. Peace out.